Hello and welcome again to Between the Sheets, the programme where we look inside the papers to find the stories that you may have missed. Today I'm joined once again by Neesom, columnist and broadcaster, and also by lead guitarist for the Vamps, James McVey. Thank you very much indeed to both of you for joining us, and let's get straight stuck in. Oh look, there she is. Oh, Princess Shy. Oh, she's on the front page. Why is she on the front? Oh, it's her 40th birthday. Sorry, Meghan. Can you stop making public statements and awful videos? Stop it. Who does that for their 40th birthday video?
Did actually. I did the very self-same thing.
Did you?
I thought it would be a really good idea to
They didn't have video back then. Who does that for their 40th birthday? Oh, I'm going to make a funny video with an A-list celebrity. It's like, with a pathetic campaign from my gilded cage.
Right, okay, as a woman I can talk about this, right?
Yeah,
okay,
you do it.
40 by 40 virtue signalling woke guff, and that's exactly what it is, right?
40 people, it makes no difference to anything other than this is a carefully manicured piece of PR.
It is, yeah. No, and I just want to say, right, okay, as a serious head on here, as a career in journalism, tabloid journalism, on newspapers for 35 years, I've gone out of my way for every single minute of that to encourage women, to mentor women, to help women succeed. But that's 35 years. So to say, just take 40 minutes out of your time to help another woman, do one, Meghan. Women should be doing this all the time for other women, by the way, Meghan. And for you to sit there in your blooming mansion,
but you know what? Actually, no, I disagree with that. People should be looking out for other people to bring them on. Yeah, but that's what you need to do. And I'm bored with this stuff. Let's promote this, let's promote that. It's like bore off. And then look, let me just read this, because in the papers there is a fantastic double-page spread in which
the Daily Mail, which love Meghan even more than he does.
Sarah Vine says, "This is a masterclass in image management.
Yeah.
Genuine. Not after the past few months, not after everything she and Harry have said and done to hurt those closest to them, and not after they have proved themselves as such as arch hypocrites." Well done, spot on.
I don't get,
go on, defend
it baffles me how you can be so, excited and this is the best thing's happened to me all day. We can have another go at Meghan. The woman's trying to further the communication around women going back to work following the pandemic.
It's a woman that's patronising tripe.
Right, okay. You vilify her for trying to do charity. What do you want her to do? You just
Nothing.
You just want her to disappear.
Shut up! I want her to shut up. Go away from her life. Get out of my papers. Go away, Meghan. Go away.
She's
Leave
completely
us alone.
entitled.
Go away from the front page of the papers. Go look.
She wants
look at me. Look at me with my.
She doesn't want her privacy. She wants to be able to curate her own life outside of the royal family.
Yeah, off the back of the royal
Not
family.
Off the back of
She's
the royal
only
family.
famous. She wasn't this famous. She wouldn't be on the front page of this newspaper had she not married into the royal family.
But
she was in a series called Suits that nobody cares about anymore. And here she is, and she's on the front page of this wretched paper again. It's like, she's there as well. Go away. Get out of my papers. It's just doing my head in. Stop it.
So
Go
cute.
away. Shut up.
So cute. It's calm down, man.
But it doesn't make a difference. If it made a difference,
it does make a difference.
It makes no difference. It makes a difference to the schmaltzy American tripartist.
This is the thing. This is the Americans will love it.
Yes.
Brits will be going, just shut up.
Really?
Patronising.
I genuinely...
I find it patronising. It was a brilliant performance on her video. It's patronising.
You notice, James, that she's got a blanket there. I think it's a Hermes blanket, dead posh or whatever, but it's got an H on it. That's for hypocrisy, mate.
Right, okay. I genuinely, look, I understand how you can get really annoyed about her wanting, publicity, but I genuinely see this as a positive step. And look, it's not an influencer flogging like a toothpaste. She's actually trying to use her platform now for good. And there's nothing wrong with using your platform for charitable means and furthering these sort of discussions. She didn't want her life to be dominated by the royal family. She wanted to get out, and I don't think we can blame her for wanting to do things that are positive.
Then she shouldn't have married into it in the first place.
I think it's so good at the member.
And she shouldn't be making money off the back of it. Exactly. That's my complaint. If she wants to do this is great. Fine, go and do it. But get rid of your title. Move away.
Well, I don't see why you have issue with her making money off that, yet we still probably give money to Prince Andrew and some of the other royals.
I'm not happy about that either. I'm very happy to take all of his money and all of his titles.
Look, by the way, in these pictures, which we've got none left because you've torn them all up, she's sitting on that desk, right, and propped her laptop up on piles of her book, what was it called? The bench or something or other, the plank or whatever. So propped on piles of books, not advertising here, written by the Duchess of Sussex.
Exactly.
She hates the royal family that much. Stop using the title.
Right, well, we'll see if she will, but I think for
I
this...
think she should.
I
Just
think it's good.
get away. I'm sorry. She annoys me.
Excuse me. There is one positive, though, on this piece of coverage. The fact that
Harry was only in it a little bit.
The ginger whinger is standing outside,
But
juggling.
that was staged.
Of course it was, juggling. But it does mean at least that she has given him his balls back for half an hour.
I'm exasperated by the tragedy that continues. And also the fact that he signed that 4-book deal to slag off his family is appalling.
Once the Queen's dead, though. At least it's got, come on, at least it's waiting till his granny's dead.
Yeah, for one of the books.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him, seriously.
Really?
I don't
Would
see...
you
I
write a
don't...
book? Right, would you write a book slagging off your granny?
I think
Whether
if
she's
you
alive or dead?
had like deep-rooted issues with an institution that in many ways really affected your life long term, I don't think... And what's to say that he's going to go in there and just slag off the Queen? How do we know that's what it's about?
He's already done that.
He's
But this is
already
his
done it.
family. Would you seriously, James, regardless of the institution, this is his family, this is his
Yeah,
dad,
yeah.
his gran...
You don't
if
air your dirty laundry for money.
You would actually, I mean, you're a pop star, you have a platform. Would you actually seriously put in the public domain that your family are a bunch of
I think honestly, if I felt that I was in an institution that needed reform and needed a nuanced
your
approach
family, not
with
the
such
institution,
things...
your family.
Yeah, but it's the same thing, isn't
No,
it?
it's not.
No, it's not. The
Your
institution-
dad, your grandmother.
He
Right.
has made very personal comments about his family and how they have behaved within the institution.
Racists.
So, if, for example, he had said, it's really difficult to operate a family life within this institution, I think people might have understood. If people had said, I can't deal with the pressures of trying to live up to what the institution wants me to be and what I want to be personally, again, I think people would forgive him. But I think that because he went for his family members, because they're trying to do the right thing for the institution, not for themselves. So if you have a look at the decisions that Her Majesty the Queen has taken throughout her life, she's taken them for the institution because that's what she believes is important for the country, against probably her personal wishes.
Right, yeah.
So if he'd explained that and said, I can't live within this institution anymore, fine, I get it. And I would support him 100%.
Which is,
and I support all the things that he's done before. But for example, you have a look at his glittering military career. Would it have been glittering had he not been Prince Harry? No. All of his life, he has excelled because he's Prince Harry and what he's been given. And it's disappointing to me that he hasn't recognised what you can do with that great institution if you channel it correctly.
They both could have done so much more.
Well, I think it's brilliant that
than
Meghan
they
is
are.
now using her platform to do
To
this.
patronise women, yeah, great.
No,
Thanks, Meghan.
I think if you look at the work that they've done, the charity work over the past 10 years or whatever, or Harry and then Meghan now, I think that should be a positive that's celebrated, regardless of the issues with the institution leaving the family. I think, like, the media and you guys absolutely love to speak about her all day long, but she's not asking to be on the front cover. She's doing something with her platform now.
So, she's not asking to be on the front cover. Of course she's asking to be. Why do they release pictures? Why do they put stuff on their Instagram? Why do
Everyone does that. She wants to get out of that and live like a normal-ish life. Everyone posts on Instagram.
She doesn't want it to be about her. This is a woman that went
Sorry.
on tour. Hold on, I'm talking.
Don't rip that one. We've
got no papers left. She went to Africa on that tour and made it all about her, despite talking to rape victims and landmine victims. She made it all about her, and I will personally never.
And that's
she
not
did.
a post picture on the front pages.
No one asks me how I'm feeling.
There's COVID everywhere, but it's kind of been taken over by the Mayor of London. He now wants it to be a criminal offence.
Criminal offence.
That you have to wear a face covering, otherwise you could be prosecuted.
But, yeah.
I mean, is he right?
Of course. No, I agree with everything Sadiq's ever done, ever. And the fact that he issues this diktat from his gas-guzzling Range Rover that he drives around town in, obviously not on a bus or a tube like the rest of us plebs. Yeah, so he actually wants to criminalise people who aren't wearing masks on public transport.
I think that the problem... I mean, I got the tube here and I actually moved seats because... Someone sat next to me without a mask on, and I moved down the thing. So that's one side. But I think the issue that we're having with this, right?
Did you go, I'm a celebrity, just get out of my way?
The thing is, we've all been told to get the vaccine. We're all getting the vaccine unless we're stupid, right? understood, but we have to test that vaccine at some point, right? And I think once we've all had the option to have double vaccination, we should be allowed to live without being criminalised for not wearing a mask,
also,
right?
if we
it's a personal choice.
Yes, it is. But if we're not careful, we're going to end up in a situation where we lose our immunity, our natural immunity to things.
We've already lost it.
I think we're going to have a massive spike in colds and flu and everything else this winter because we've kept away from that. And on one hand, I don't want to discriminate against those who want to wear a face covering. If that's what you want to do, please fill your boots.
Especially if you're ugly.
But also, wow. I mean, as a teenager, it would have solved many problems, because spots and all that sort of stuff. Wearing face covering is fine. But
possibly
and
still
also,
not a bad idea.
Maybe.
Sorry, just suggesting.
The issue is though, it's this late in the day, right? If he'd said this 6 months ago, I might have gone with it. But I feel like we're so far down the line here. We're so close that I think criminalising something now is just going to.
But also, how can you have fixed penalties exactly when you didn't have fixed penalties during the heat of the pandemic?
Look, and
the pandemic is over.
Let's cut to the chase, shall we? This is a man who can't even criminalise kids who are wandering around stabbing one another.
Quite.
He's not that's slightly more important than someone who's not wearing a mask.
But do you think it's because he's lost his authority on the things that he should be in charge of, and so he's trying desperately to pick up something in which he can either get some airplay or some news?
Yeah, it's all about him. It's small man complex. Sorry, small man. And it's all about Sadiq, isn't it? It's promoting him. He wants to be a celebrity. He doesn't care about Londoners.
How have we ended up in a situation where we have a mayor as useless as him?
I didn't vote for him. Did you vote for him? Who voted for him?
Did you vote for him?
I quite like Sadiq. Right?
Why?
I do.
Why?
But I mean, compared to Boris, I think it's a biblical change. But I have to say that the press that he's had around like the low emission neighbourhoods and stuff and shutting roads, I think it's been a bit disastrous for him PR front. And then to come out with something like this, I just worry.
He's rule crazy. That's his problem. Focus on the big picture. Where is the strategy? London needs to be a safe place. I don't care what your politics are. London needs to be a safe place. Yeah. London needs to be put on the world map again, having suffered a pandemic and come out of the European Union. We have to demonstrate that we can make ourselves a global city again and a place that people want to come and visit. And that means making it tidy, making it smart, making it efficient, making it well run. All of these things that he can do and have an impact on.
This is the problem, James. He can't do them. He concentrates on micromanaging the easy stuff, like, criminalising some poor sausage sitting on a tube not wearing a mask.
My problem with Sadiq is that he cannot focus on the big picture that he needs to. Okay, let's just have a quick Sadiq off and then just get it all off our chests and get all the things that we can't bear about him. He can't speak properly.
He can't speak proper like what we can, and
I don't even mind the accent. No, it's the in thing.
But
it's the looking and the din and the that.
But that is an accent.
I'm
not going to go down the whole pronunciation versus accent thing again. That's an East London accent.
It's pronunciation, which I dislike.
It's an accent. It's an East London accent.
I don't mind an East London accent. I like it.
We drop our G's. That is a proper thing.
Yeah, you can drop your G's without turning it into looking glass.
I don't think we can vilify him for not going to a super posh school. Maybe he did like you. But I think the issue with this is
I wish he had.
But Mr. Max. But the issue with this is it can't be policed. And it's never going to go through.
No, it's not.
So we shouldn't give it the time of day, I think.
But then I also think that we need to move to a place where people are able to make their own judgments, same as in shops.
Yeah.
I agree.
And also, I ask people if they want me to, if somebody else wants me to wear a mask. So I got in a car the other day and the driver was not wearing a mask and I said, do you want me to wear a mask? And he said, please, not on my account. And I said, fine. So I said, I won't then.
Well, it's that courtesy, isn't it? Which I'd like to think we have as a society.
I'm now in. I don't describe to the end it all now. It's all got to finish. Stop people wearing them.
It's your choice. If you want to wear a mask,
we're now in the it's your choice and courtesy. Yeah. And in 3 months' time, then I want an end to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sadiq's the sort of bloke who's going to put masks on statues, especially the statues he approves of. The ones, obviously, that's his other priority, is tearing all the statues down.
Oh, I just wish we could get rid of him. I'm bored of him. The novelty's gone.
Do what we need.
He's a bad mayor.
Tackle crime.
He's a nightmare.
Tackle crime.
Come on, move on.
Let's all go on summer holiday. Except
You're the musician. You can sing. Go on.
No, I play guitar. I'm not.
You are lead vocalist as well. I mean, along with.
We're going to get no views if I start singing. Right, come on.
Let's not do that.
Are we speaking about?
What's he here for?
He's here for his opinion. I want to know, James, you travel a lot for business and
Yes.
for pleasure, sometimes when we're allowed, but we haven't done it for a while. Do you understand the traffic light system?
I've never understood the whole amber thing. I would have much rather have had a yes and no.
Yeah.
This amber plus, like how many options? Is there
Amber
like
watch
7
list?
options?
Amber watch
I
list.
don't know what that means. I don't
No.
think anyone knows what it means. There's no clarity with this, and so I've just sacked off the whole thing. I'm not even going to try and go on holiday this year.
No, you see, I can't be bothered, certainly for now.
I
going
think
on
we should
holiday,
have
'cause I
more
just think
colours. I think we should
Yeah,
do like a whole
rainbow,
rainbow
yeah.
thing.
Rainbow. Oh,
Well, the
how woke.
NHS have got it. Our LGBT community have got
plus
it.
things, whatever, yes.
The kids' TV program even had it. Why don't we have a rainbow of where we can go, what we can do?
Well,
But
so
I agree with you. Amber to me is a complete waste of time.
yeah, because I'm not just saying this. I have no idea what it means. But France is supposedly going on there. Which does that mean you're allowed to go to France now? Or?
Yes, but you see, France was on Amber Plus. So
So-
Amber Plus was you've got to come back and you've still got to quarantine. Whereas Amber now means that if you are double vaccinated, you don't have to quarantine, but you do still need a test.
But what about? But am I right in saying though this is just our regulation? So the other side, so
They
France,
decide-
what
exactly, they decide what they want.
So,
The French can still go, no.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is again why we should have made the system more easy to understand.
Yeah.
We should have said green, you come back and have a test. Red, you don't go. It's as simple as that.
Why
Why do we have all this
Understood.
in between?
Why
No.
don't we do what the Americans do? It's like, basically if you're double jabbed, have the test, go where you want, basically. That seems to work.
Well, they sort of
They
denied
don't-
COVID though at the start of the year, didn't they? Like they just stopped.
They're
wearing
still.
masks and got
I
on with it.
understand. Yeah, and I
and it's worked
understand.
quite well. I mean, Florida is absolutely doing brilliantly. Likewise, Sweden.
I understand why red is there.
Yes.
Because there are some countries where it is
But you know-
completely out
you
of
know
control,
what?
and also it's not just about what people might bring back from wherever they go. It's also about we have been substantially vaccinated. There are countries who have not,
No, I know.
and they've got
But
major problems.
I want to know what the criteria are. If Grant Shapps was here now, and obviously he's going to come on this programme next week, I believe.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but dear Grant.
Do you want to
I'd
go
love-
between the sheets with Grant Shapps?
Oh, actually, when you put it like that, no, ew. But it's like, what are the criteria you're actually using? Because it doesn't
Yeah,
appear to
yeah,
be
yeah,
vaccination
no.
But
rate
isn't it
or
bizarre?
infection rate.
But isn't it bizarre?
Because
'Cause
suddenly India is now fine.
India is now fine, but interestingly enough, just as France moves from Amber Plus to Amber,
Yeah.
hospitals across southern France were placed on an emergency footing yesterday as the fourth coronavirus wave led to an upsurge in intensive care admissions.
What's the criteria?
But again, you see that you go to France and there is a lot of vaccine hesitancy.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
compared to here in the UK,
Yeah, no,
where
this
people
is
are
true.
kind of up for it.
Yeah.
You go to various parts of the world, and also if you have a look in the papers, they'll tell you about Germany, who are introducing vaccine passports with aplomb. They're having a marvellous time with them, and you will not go to bars and pubs and restaurants without your vaccine passport. You will not enter supermarkets without them. It
Yeah.
really is laying down the law, which I think is very, very concerning.
Well, that's Germany for you.
Well,
They've
no,
got
but
previous.
wow.
But we're gonna. The thing is, though, right? It's all people saying no to vaccine passports. But you've kind of touched upon it there. If every other country in the world says you need the vaccine to do X, Y, and Z, then you're not going to be able to go anywhere, right?
And I think that we're going to have to get used to the fact that a lot of countries are going to set different rules to us.
Yeah.
And if you
Exactly,
do want to
yeah.
go for international travel, you are going to have
Just
have the
get
vaccine.
your
You're going to have
vaccine,
to
mate.
just
Come on.
yeah.
You see, what I want to see from our government, and this is where I'm really beginning to get cross again with them, is first of all, the travel shambles is unnecessary, and they've made it more difficult and complicated than they should have done. And similarly, this is about messaging.
Yeah.
Older age group have been very good at taking up the vaccine. Younger
They
age
have
groups, there are a
changed
lot of
it,
people who are saying, I don't need it, I'm not going to get it, I want to have autoimmunity and all this
I
other
don't
stuff.
know if that's what they're saying. I think that people my age are quite lazy for that sort of thing. They see that they'd have to go, get a bus for 3 miles to their nearest vaccination centre, and they just can't be bothered.
Is it really that simple?
I think it is.
Laziness?
I don't think there are many people
How
my
do
age
you get
that-
people to stop being lazy and realise
Well,
that?
well-
I mean, we don't hear the daily numbers
No,
that we used to,
no.
but the vaccination
Thankfully.
rates are well down.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a slight surge, I think, the last week, which is good. But I think, we can't force people to get vaccines. But I do think that when we're saying things like going to nightclubs, you need to do that, or big sporting events, that might be that push that they need. I don't think that all the people my age are like 5G all like weirdos. I think they haven't got around to it, and they need that little nudge.
Stop being so lazy, the youth. But meanwhile,
this is the thing with this. It's in all the papers today, and everywhere you look about should we vaccinate kids? I mean, should we be vaccinating young teenagers?
Okay, let's start with 16, 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
James, should they get the vaccine?
I think they should get the vaccine. I don't think we should be forcing, or that we can force them to get it.
Okay,
Absolutely.
fine. I'm kind of on the same page on that. I would say make it available. Give us the scientific evidence.
Yeah.
Make up your own minds. You, parents, whatever you want to do. Under the age of 16, should we be encouraging 12 to 16-year-olds to get the vaccine?
It's a real difficult one, isn't it? And you were saying earlier about them having like immunity or something already.
80% of 16 to 24-year-olds have got a natural immunity already. Yeah. Youngsters, we know. I mean, youngsters that have died of COVID without any underlying serious health conditions are zero.
Is that a reason to not get it though? Because I mean, what are the statistics of children that age dying from having? Well, we don't know, obviously.
We don't know.
But I don't think there's going to be that huge risk of them getting seriously ill from having the vaccine. But I just don't. I kind of agree with you. I think at this point I don't feel like we need to be vaccinating like 10.
But I would say make it available.
Yeah.
Give parents
the choice,
and the information, and then leave it.
But you know
and
what?
let's focus on getting the rest of the population
people
done.
my age,
I mean, for example, here we go. Germany. Germans will be required to wear masks on public transport and in shops until next spring, including for vaccinated people, according to a leaked health ministry report. Well, that's what they're saying. Meanwhile, we've got restrictions reimposed in an Israeli surge. We thought they'd done really well with it, but Israel has reimposed a series of coronavirus restrictions amid a wave of rising infections. Japan, we've seen the Tokyo Olympics, registered its first coronavirus cluster. United States, Barack Obama has scaled back his 60th birthday party because there is a surge. Global cases, 193 million. Over 4 million deaths globally of people either with or from COVID. I mean, this is still a major and serious problem.
Well, you just say COVID was over a few minutes ago.
No one's dying. It's journalists didn't do that. But no one's denying that. But I mean, the point of the vaccine and the point of encouraging youngsters to have the vaccine is that restrictions end. Otherwise, what is the point in kids having a vaccine? What is the point of a vaccine passport if you're still going to restrict people?
I agree.
We need to move on now.
Where are we going?
Just because where are we going? Where are we going?
Helena Hancock.
Helena Hancock. I would like to go to everyone's favourite paper, said no one, the Daily Star.
It's brilliant on a Wednesday. It's marvellous. Columnists. Better than some columnists we could mention.
Well, we can. It's a beautiful piece of prose. You aspire to the pink paper.
Piece of prose.
Piece of prose.
I'd used another P word. It wasn't prose.
Woke telecensors have declared war on LOLO.
Oh.
This is to avoid upsetting snowflakes. The saucy French resistance sitcom is the latest harmless Brit show to be hit with a content warning. 9 series. I loved that show. It was funny. It made jokes out of stuff. The Germans, by the way, love it.
I know they do. Absolutely.
They think it's absolutely hilarious. And of course, I really like the fact that I'm sorry if when the Germans are speaking, they speak like this.
Helga. With the stockings and the plats.
And then, of course, there is the picture that they always keep trying to find, the fallen Madonna with the big boobies.
Boobies, yes.
And then there is the French resistance lady.
Yeah, the undercover bloke. I was just kissing Bay, who was trained to talk.
That was Arthur Bostrom, the policeman.
He was brilliant.
The policeman.
Yeah.
And then, of course, and it was just very clever and funny.
Oh, René. I love that.
Yeah.
I could do that. Oh, gems.
I've never seen it. It's before my time.
Go and watch
slightly.
it.
But
have a woke fest.
No, it'd be upset.
The thing is, though, right?
It's sexist, racist, homophobic, fattest.
Yes, because there is a gay character and a fat character.
But and it mentions boobs.
I probably do err slightly on the snowflake side with a lot of things.
No.
But I know.
No one said.
But genuinely, for this, I'm finding this whole thing a bit crazy as well. So I'm getting a bit worried now that it seems everything is now offensive to someone. Yeah. And there are genuinely things out there that are offensive, and we do need a nuanced approach to. But I don't think that this.
Aside,
I don't think this is one of those things.
No, joking aside, there are things that are seriously racist and sexist and homophobic and awful, and we need to stop. But getting our Nixon and twist over this.
But I also think that
not mine, obviously. Because I'm not wearing anything.
You're no longer allowed to do someone's accent as part of a depiction.
I just did. I'm going to be cancelled.
Yes. Well, and And I find that
it's quite good, wasn't it?
René. I mean, I find
It
that
does it better.
I find it disappointing.
Slightly worried.
But I also love the fact that they had the British Airman. I say, old chap.
Oh, you did that one better.
Oh, yeah. Marvellous. Meanwhile, anybody worried about spending slightly too many hours binging on Netflix or regular TV during the pandemic need not be concerned, as it appears that everyone in Britain did. Figures released by the country's broadcasting watchdog showed that adults spent a third of their waking hours watching TV and online video content last year, an average of 5 hours and 40 minutes. Did you watch too much telly?
I actually realised quite recently, every morning I have a routine now where I go downstairs before Kirsty, walk the dog, and then I sit in my studio and just watch YouTube for breakfast while she's still upstairs.
So
every day.
Oh, and
Every
you're
day.
watching
YouTube.
Talk Radio on your talkradio.tv app.
He's
I'm on message.
He's on early in the morning.
Well, I know.
You can watch
He
him.
loves
No,
it. Well,
it's,
he's on occasion.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't had you yet, have we? Early breakfast.
I can't think why.
Oh, no, can't be.
I get up very early. I'd
Okay.
love to do
All
it,
right.
Jane.
All right, yeah.
It's so nice. It's so relaxing.
So relaxing. But do you think that this is a temporary blip, or do you think that we've now got into watching a lot of telly?
I think we've become lazy couch potatoes as a
I
nation, to
agree.
be honest with you.
I agree, and I think, look, we were so used to, well, I was definitely used to like a routine of getting up early,
Yeah.
going to the gym, doing that, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you break that for a few months, and before you know it, and especially with like Love Island, every night we have that like 90 minutes or
Oh,
whatever.
so I don't watch that crap.
Well, I didn't this year because I didn't want to get addicted again.
Yeah,
But before you know it, your life revolves around
Oh,
TV
it's
in
sexist,
the evening.
racist, and homophobic. I can't deal with that.
But they all look gorgeous. And
Do they?
they're all-
Gorgeous.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Gorgeous!
But, gorgeous, isn't it? But, I'm actually going to blame the government. The government shut down sport, shut down gyms, stopped you going to even watch sport, let alone take part in any, encouraged us to sit on our sofas. They locked us in on our sofas, and they kept the fast food takeaway services going. But they stopped.
That's why I'm on a diet.
They stopped. You are. Not that you need to be, but they stopped little kids kicking the football about. And then obesity is a huge part of dying of COVID. I mean, the government are just really.
They don't make sense. But also, I think.
Later.
Yeah, we'll come back to that, I'm sure. But I think, when it comes down to telly, and also we've got the streaming services where Netflix has done really well during this. We've got Disney Plus and Amazon, all these things. I think we are neglecting our national broadcaster, that they're so busy ticking boxes that they've forgotten how to make television.
We're not talking about the BBC, are we?
Possibly. I think ITV have been ticking their money boxes,
Yes.
trying to rinse everything they've got. There isn't a new format there,
No.
which is a shame.
Well, I don't know the last time I watched something on the BBC, ITV, or anything. I do catch up occasionally for a series that's recommended.
I know the last
But
thing. Last thing I watched on the BBC was RuPaul's Drag Race.
Right.
Fantastic.
Okay.
That is quality telly.
I have to confess, I've been watching a little bit of the Olympics
The Sham Olympics.
because I like me sport. I've been.
I
I've
do
been
like my
loving the
sport, but
Olympics.
I am quite cross about the level of coverage. I know they did this deal so they could
But it's
secure
not-
more coverage
To be fair,
later.
it's not the BBC's fault, that is it? I mean, it's not that fault.
It is when it comes to some of the people that they've put on and some of the coverage they've had. It's a bit.
You're not talking about my lovely Alex Scott, are you?
I'm actually.
I see then girls talking proper.
I don't mind an accent. I mind mispronunciation.
It's not. It is part of the recognised accent of London and parts of Essex.
I grew up in London and Essex, and I do not speak like that. It is not necessary.
You speak like you come from the Hem Counties, though, which is one of the
Wow.
most trustworthy and recognisably acceptable accents in the country.
Good.
I have to be very
Is
careful
it
when I say
okay to
country.
shame someone for their accent? As Lord Digby Jones criticises Olympics presenter Alex Scott. You see, I think they've got it wrong here, because this isn't shaming somebody over their accent. This is trying to say, if you do a certain kind of job, then maybe you should learn how to speak properly.
Well, I think it's side point. It's concerning because you get bucks like Jacob Rees-Mogg who sound like he knows what he's on about because he's got a posh sort of plum in his
Exactly.
face, but he's actually got nothing going on really upstairs. And I think that's
but
dangerous.
that's just as bad as somebody who mispronounces words.
Look.
Is it though? Because
Yes.
but it's not. I mean, if you
I would prefer it if we didn't have to listen to his
So hold on.
whining posh
What
rant.
accent is acceptable for you on TV then, James?
I'm happy with a range of accents from all over the country.
Apart from the East London
No,
Essex
because
one.
it's not East London Essex.
It is an accent. Look, it's a linguistics expert at Manchester University, dropping G's, really common feature of lots of accents
Yes, it's a
especially
very
in
common
London.
trend.
Dropping G. So what?
No,
How would you do?
no. That's my bit of paper. You can't tear my bit of paper up.
There's a big point
Oh, I've
here,
still
though.
got my picture of
There is a
Alex.
point here because not everyone is able to. From certain communities, poorer communities, people don't have the same level.
Stop dropping your G's. Priti Patel, go away with you dropping your G's.
What's
Pick 'em
wrong?
up.
What do you mean drop? How do you
Look in.
look in?
It's looking. Looking.
Looking,
Yeah, I would say
Eating.
looking, but
Yes, you speak properly, so do you. You've got an East London accent. You don't go looking and looking in glass.
I'm not, but I'm refusing to
So it's
criticise.
not an accent.
It is an accent.
It's pronunciation.
Look,
it's different.
it's linguistics experts.
If
say
you're going to
it
go
is-
and do that stuff, then you need to know your stuff and you need to know how to speak properly.
Why were Digby not criticised any of the male commentators on TV who don't talk proper either? Why is he picking on a
Because
young
when I
woman?
spoke to him about it, he said it's not about an accent. He said, I don't have a problem with an accent from wherever you
But
like
he's
in the
never
United Kingdom.
criticised Ian Wright or Rio Ferdinand, London accents known for dropping letters out of their sentences. Why is he picking on a young woman?
He did pick out when I spoke to him about people dropping their T's as well. And I think that you shouldn't drop
He's
your T's.
criticising an accent. I'm sorry, and all accents
I
are
agree.
acceptable.
I agree.
Okay,
Yeah.
Apart
All
from really
accents
posh
are
ones.
not acceptable.
Apart from really posh ones.
Why are we suddenly, you see, you're very happy to have a go at people who speak in a certain way
Yeah.
because that's okay. If you switch
Because
it
you're
the
having
other
a
way
go
around.
at Alex's accent.
No,
She's-
I don't have a problem with her accent. Her accent is fine. Her knowledge is brilliant. Her dropping the G's
She's
is not.
such a successful. She's got a career in football that's brilliant. 104 caps for
Great.
England. She's carving a very, very successful broadcaster, probably more successful than any of us.
But would it
career
be
out.
that difficult to say, would you mind a few lessons?
What is wrong with her accent?
lessons.
No,
Well,
that's,
look, I mean, you're not going to go off and do your stuff. If somebody said you're singing out of tune or you're playing
It's
out
very
of tune...
different though.
No,
Because
it's not.
how we speak depends upon how we've been brought up, the opportunities we've had, the education
There are
that
so
we've had.
many people
We didn't
who
all
have
grow
learnt-
up in the
No,
Hampstead
there are a
Garden,
lot of
whatever,
actors and
wherever you're from.
actresses.
It's,
There are a lot of actors, actresses, broadcasters, people who
Yeah.
speak differently
Yes.
because they've learnt their craft. And
It's-
if you are going to broadcast, you do have to learn how to speak differently.
I don't
the
think
great
you do.
orators of this world
Maybe 50
are
years
better.
ago,
Yes,
I don't-
but the great orators of this
Well,
world
that's
speak
that's
better.
when he's living, isn't it? I mean, women, especially women of colour, are disproportionately called out, woke fat time, for the way they speak. And I believe that is why Digby, who went to one of the most exclusive public schools in this country and has the benefit of an education, has called out a young woman of colour from
I think
my neck
that
of the
is
woods. Go,
nonsense.
Alex.
Yeah.
And have we done anything from the Guardian today?
I
No,
don't-
I don't think we have.
Well, you've torn
don't
everything
even
else
know
So
up.
I'm going to
You
end on a
tore my
bombshell.
lovely picture of Alex
There we go.
Scott.
Look,
There we go.
we're done. We are pretty much done for today.
Thank
so thank
God
you
for
very,
that.
thank you very.
Well, there wasn't much further we could go, really, was there?
Not really. I think we've rinsed the papers for today. So thank you very much indeed to my guests, James McVey from the Vamps and Dawn Neesom, star columnist.
Yay!
And me, James Max. Thanks very much indeed for watching. Until next time. Cheerio.